Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for August 23rd, 2025. We got a full random kingdom today and three sideways things. The trashing is change with sewers, which is actually not too bad. Change is the only trashing would be very limiting. I mean, you can trash whatever with it, but it's potentially quite slow. If you're like changing a copper into a 5 or something like that. I mean, it is nice that you get the 5, but like the debt is substantial. But here we can potentially like change an estate and then trash a copper with sewers sort of thing. So that's nice. Plus actions is specialist, and that's it. And contract. Okay. Well, specialist can be a little awkward to get going, but is pretty powerful once you do. And then draw is hunting party and stowaway. Gains are... I mean, I guess Bureaucrat and Marauder both gain things, but mostly Animal Fair and Change. But Animal Fair will need something to be activated. Oh, and Specialist, of course. And Architect's Guild. Where are we getting? Contract. Okay. Architect's Guild does not play especially nicely with Highway. But we may still be able to take some advantage of that at some point, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure that I'll actually want a contract, but anyway, I think we do just open sewers change. Like we could get a different 3 cost and then pick up the sewers a little later, but none of the 3s here I feel like are so critical, especially because change is going to be able to turn an estate directly into a whatever 5 we want anyway. So I think I like just going directly for the sewers. Bot goes for Chariot Race. I can see Chariot Race, being a thing here, but I don't really think it's the priority. I think we just want a hunting party to start with. I didn't really talk about like the intended end state of the deck, but if we can do like hunting parties and highways, and then we use specialist like to gain more stuff, so that we empty at least 1 pile to activate Animal Fair, and then we can like play specialist on some Animal Fairs. Like potentially you can get a whole bunch of provinces that way with highway in play. You have to be careful. Change cannot gain a card costing the same amount. So like if you were to, I mean, I guess getting 8 highways into play isn't very likely. But if you were to get 8 highways into play, you would not be able to turn like a copper into a province, or, well, anything into a province, in fact. So that's something to be aware of. Anyway, but yeah, I think we're going to start with hunting party to get cycling going. And here is the hunting party. Hopefully our change is not the top card. Yeah, okay. We could go ahead and take a specialist now. We could also take a highway. Highway has the advantage that it, like, we will make changing coppers more efficient. Maybe that's the more relevant case, though, for what I was talking about, is like, yeah, it will do that, but it will also mean that, like, if you play 5 highways, you cannot change a copper into a 5. The downside to that is that if we change a state, 1 highway doesn't help with that. It also doesn't help us pay off debt. It does... Obviously, like, it is a card that we're going to want. But maybe just getting the specialist now. I mean, if we draw a specialist with, neither the hunting party nor the change, obviously we'll be sad. Um, 5, 6. There's only 6 such cards in our deck. The odds of that are actually pretty low. Like there's six copper plus estates. Well, I mean, I guess it's 5 coppers in an estate, but specialist. So, like, if we draw a specialist, we would have to draw 4 out of those 6 cards and 0 out of the 2 not those cards to be sad. Highway has the advantage that it's not a stop card. More likely to not have that sadness. But specialist really, like, if we manage to line it up with hunting party and get a hunting party, that's fantastic. If we manage to line it up with change and we even just like get the 3 coins immediately, that's still productive. Like we could take a chariot race, or we could potentially afford something depending on like what we've drawn. I guess the other thing about specialist is that if like hunting party finds specialist and that causes it not to find change, that's pretty sad. Yeah, maybe we take 1 highway first and then we go for the specialist, even though the highway isn't really doing that much right now. I think that makes... Okay, so we know we have a copper on top. We want to find the change and the estate. Which means we want to draw the copper with the highway. Success. Bot now has 3 chariot races. Okay, now this time... we're definitely taking a specialist. Like, we're at the point... we only have 4 coppers in our deck. There is a possibility that we draw a specialist from 4 coppers. It's very unlikely. Copper on top. Okay. So we're not going to be able to double play the hunting party. But if we play the highway first, when we play the hunting party, we will draw specialist change. We'll be able to double play the change. Alternatively, if we play the hunting party first, we will find one of specialist or change, and if it's specialist, we will potentially be able to double play the highway, or play the highway and gain a highway. I think... it's worth considering. So we have 4 coppers. Assuming we don't like keep 1, we would have 2 coppers after trashing 1 with change, and then trashing 1 with sewers, which is obviously not a lot of money. If we get 1 highway in play, things cost 4. We gain like 4 cost. Probably we gain another highway with the change, and then we get 3 coins. We pay the 4 debt, and then we have like 1 coin left over, so we wouldn't be able to buy anything, which is not really a big deal, but if we double play change, we... Wait, I think I said that all wrong. I think I was... Yeah, well, if we double play change, maybe that was what what I was saying, is the situation where we double play change and we get the 3 coins from change on the second play. If we manage to double play the highway, well, I guess we'd probably just gain a highway. What's the situation in which we're sad? I guess, yeah, I guess there's not much reason. Like, we don't care that much about getting the 3 coins from change. It helps pay off the debt, but that's not really. Well, I guess it is kind of a big deal because it means next turn. If we manage to top deck the specialist and draw that, we could choose to double play highway instead of gaining one, and then we still end up with net debt if we trash. We don't have to sewers trash a copper, to be fair. This is tricky. This is tricky. The ideal case would have been we start with specialist highway in hand, we play specialist, we play highway, we gain a highway, and then we play hunting party and we draw. Like, change hunting party. But maybe double playing the change is fine for this turn, just to make sure that we don't have the debt. And maybe not trashing a copper is also fine. If we're not going to trash a copper anyway, then I think we do lead with the hunting party. Okay. So, if we gain a copy, and then we trash a copper into a 4, we will end up with 1 debt. If we play again, we trash a copper into a 3, we end up with 0 debt. Which is kind of important. So I think we do that. I'm going to decline to do this. Or do we gain another specialist, or do we gain a highway? Maybe it's another specialist. If we're getting another specialist, maybe it's not. Maybe we go for double playing change next turn and it's okay to trash a copper. I mean, the worst hand that we could have is like something like specialist change in all of our copper, which is really not that bad anyway. But not having the debt means we could potentially just like gain a hunting party and a highway. I think I like getting another specialist and not having debt. Okay, so this is fine. And I think we don't need to, like, we can just gain a copy here. Now we can play this again to draw the hunting party, and then we can change, and then we can draw the thing that we change into. Right. And what is that going to be? It could be a contract if we want to try to do Architects Guild stuff a little bit. It could be another highway. That doesn't really, playing that this turn doesn't really do anything for us. It could be an animal fair. We take more debt that way, but we get to pay it back. 4 coins. We take 5 debt. Yeah, we would get the debt paid off. It'd be kind of interesting to take a Marauder and start junking the bot. Like, the bot it doesn't have sewers. The bot hasn't trashed nearly as much. It does have one additional hunting party, but... The problem with the Marauder line is we don't get to play the spoils this turn. I think if we could play the spoils this turn, I would actually do that. But I think as it is, I'd rather get the animal fair. I think we want to keep the coppers just as like change fodder over multiple turns, because like we don't have plus buy right now. We could take a chariot race. That seems fine. We have a highway on top? Okay. We'll chariot race a highway. No. Okay. Specialist, a hunting party... probably needs to happen. And then do we gain another hunting party? I think so. And now... we haven't managed to line our specialists up with each other, which is annoying. Maybe I should have tried to do that this turn. Maybe I should have just played the hunting party and... yeah. So we could now specialist highway and gain one. We wouldn't be able to play both the change and the animal fair, though. We'd be able to draw it with the hunting party. The advantage is just like that we gain the extra card. I guess double playing the highway and then being able to play the card that we gain with change is about as good anyway. And I think... do we want to take another specialist with the change? And then we can double play the animal fair. And then we can actually buy something. Like, that is better than chariot race, I mean. We could also just take another... we have 5 coins, which is down to 2 coins, which means if we just take another highway, we'll be able to afford a 5. So that's probably better, actually. Well, I mean, I guess if we want another specialist, then it doesn't really matter, but... whatever. Okay, so we have 2 highways, we have 3 hunting parties. I think another specialist. Hunting party on top. The bot still hasn't even trashed all of its estates. It did just gain its first specialist, though. Hey! Alright. Well, I don't see a specialist. If we play the hunting party, there's no way we're going to draw 2 specialists, which is unfortunate. So I think we play the highway. Specialists are hiding. However... we've got 2 specialists down there. We play one out of hand. If the next, if that card that's on top is the other highway, we're good. We get to draw specialist highway, and then we can Yeah, I guess we'll just have to find out what the situation is. Aha! Okay, so now we gain a copy of Hunting Party. Then we play Hunting Party, we draw this specialist in this Hunting Party. And then we can do specialist, specialist. I don't know if there's... We probably can't avoid wasting the highway draw, but it probably also doesn't matter that we can't. List, specialist. Okay, so we go... Now here's where we need to be careful about like the whole change copper, it has to gain a more expensive card thing. We should also be considering like trying to empty the hunting parties, just because we can benefit from that with the buys. Oh, Ruined Market's on top. How about that? I mean, we could... What we could do is play Hunting Party, gain Hunting Party, play Highway, gain Highway, and then I feel like this is leading towards not playing the Animal Fair. We could also double play the change. Go like copper to... First specialist play, double plays the change. Second specialist play, and the change gains a hunting party. And then second specialist play also gains a hunting party, and then we buy a hunting party. Can we manage that? Hunting party is going to cost us 3. If we're going to do that, we should play the highway first before we play the specialists. And that way we take less debt. And I think the answer is yes. We'll pay off the debt. It actually doesn't... I guess it actually doesn't matter, because the Animal Fair is going to give us enough money regardless. But I think... Play highway. This costs 3. Specialist, change, copper to hunting party, change for 3 coins. Then we play hunting party. And then we gain a hunting party. So that's going to be 2 hunting parties gained. And then the Animal Fair buys a hunting party. And now we'll empty the hunting parties. We won't actually get the value from the buys now, though. Can we get the value from the buys now? I don't think so. Because if we double play specialist to like play hunting party and then gain hunting party, we don't have another hunting party in hand with which to gain another hunting party off the specialist. Not to mention, we don't get the plus actions that we need in order to activate the Animal Fair. It is annoying because it would be really nice to have the plus buy with the highways in play, but I guess we were actually planning to have that many highways in play anyway. All right, whatever. Let's just dupe, dupe, dupe. Dupe. What? I was thinking about, like, if we gain change, it would be a nice target for the change next turn, but... Oh, we have the one from the chariot race. Huh. We still don't have quite enough to get that hunting party, but maybe that's fine. Maybe the fact that... all right, I'm changing my mind again. Jeez. I was like, maybe the fact that, like, if we set ourselves up to empty the hunting parties next turn, maybe that's what's important, right? Maybe we should actually do specialist, play highway. Gain a copy of highway. Play specialist again. Or wait, do we want to double play the highway? This is, we need the plus actions. Yeah. Play highway again. And then we play specialist again to play hunting party. No, that's not right either. To play change. Gaining... I do not know how to optimize this turn. We gain a hunting party from this. I guess we could gain a copy of change. And we still have the actions to play that. And then... yeah. Okay. We can buy another hunting party. Way more money than we need. And then next turn we can change. I don't know if I played that correctly, but... it's difficult. Okay, now we can activate the animal fair. Finally. Specialist. Hunting party. Gain a copy. Not totally sure about that, because we... what do we discard? A highway and 2 hunting parties? That's not great. Alright, we want to play chariot race as early in the turn as possible, and there's there's nothing down. We don't have any copper left, so well, I guess we have a change. That's like the one thing, but okay, it didn't matter anyway, since we started with animal fair in hand. Okay, let's play a hunting party. Wait, seriously? Jeez. Okay, I guess that doesn't really matter that much. Let's do it again. I want to get specialist again. Discarded a highway and a specialist. This is so obnoxious. We can't do it. All right. I'll play this highway. That. Oh, okay. This'll work, I guess. I definitely screwed this up, but. And now I'm like playing this for plus actions without drawing any cards. Yeah, I definitely screwed this up. All right. I want to get. Maybe. Should I be gaining another specialist instead? I don't know. I want to get more highways. And then I want to change this change into another highway, or maybe a specialist. I guess that makes more sense, doesn't it? Because then we can guarantee draw both of those things. Gain another copy of highway. I think is better than playing it again. Although actually, we don't quite have enough money to get to 5s, so maybe it would have been. Maybe there was a better sequence to do this. I would have. Whatever. We're probably going to want more animal fairs, but for now, I'm going to take another highway. I think it could be another specialist. Yeah, maybe it's another specialist. And then I guess another chariot race. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything, really. We also should be looking at pile out possibilities. I should have been looking at that more carefully. I don't think the bot has enough deck control or whatever to do it, but yeah, like we're now, the piles are very low. Okay, I think we just specialist hunting party for draw. It will skip over hunting. What was the top card of our deck? Another hunting party. Okay, well we do get to draw at least one more hunting party. That's good. But I want to draw more specialists. I want the hunting party to be able to draw more specialists. That is. Although, yeah. Okay. So now we really want to. I mean, we have plus buy, so we don't need to do all the gaining with specialist. But we can at least do some of it. We do have. We should have 5 specialists. Discarded highway hunting party. Discarded a hunting party. So we should have 2 more specialists down there. So we should be able to specialist for specialist. But maybe it makes more sense to play highway. Okay, I guess we'll play chariot race. Huh. Play highway. Well, we can draw highways now with the hunting party. Okay, here we go. Specialist, specialist. All right, first play is hunting party. Right. Second play is gain a copy. We don't really need to go to these lengths to be able to make this work, but all right, we discarded a highway and hunting party. So we have highway, hunting party, specialist down there. We really want to ideally specialist the specialist and then use that to specialist the highway. We do have another highway, so we can play one highway without compromising that. The change is maybe just not doing anything this turn, but that's fine. And I guess we can play, like, whatever. Okay, we got what we wanted anyway. All right, so now specialist, specialist, play highway, gain a copy, gain a copy. Okay. And now, and draw both of those up. Change, can trash stuff into provinces. We only have the one specialist though, so there's a limit to how much we can really accomplish here. Like if we gain... Oh wait, animal fairs give multiple buys now. Okay, so in terms of how many provinces we can gain, change can trash hunting parties into things. We can make the things cheaper. Oh, we would need to be able to draw them. Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky. If we... Well, I guess there's no point in specialist unchanged because we won't get the money from the second play. So we change hunting party to animal fair. I don't think we can take advantage of the both hunting parties. Oh no, well we could by gaining another animal fair with specialist, but like there's kind of no point. We could just double play it. Yeah, I mean I guess we can, what we can do, we can play highway first, then do hunting party to animal fair. Do that. Normally, again, play normally. Okay. And we can't quite empty the provinces, sadly. We needed like one more highway play or a little bit more money. I wonder if that was available. I mean, it probably was, but whatever. Yeah, so I think really this was all about the sewers, even though we stopped using it like halfway through because we like were thin enough. It accelerated us so much. And then like chariot race is just not important here at all. Like I took a couple of chariot races because like I had the money and I had a buy and why not? Like there's no reason not to. But like the bot like does this I think sometimes where it prioritizes a chariot race, and this is just not a board where chariot race matters at all. Like, it could have won every single like chariot race like that it ever did, and the only way that could possibly have mattered is if it happened to like allow it to like buy enough stuff faster enough to like keep up with the sewers thing, which I doubt would have been the case. But like, it, you know, the VP wouldn't matter at all. It would just be about like, oh, you get the extra coins. But the thing is, like, you know, you don't get chariot race for the money. Like, it's nice if it gives you money, but because it's unreliable, like, you can't really build around that. Whereas the VP is, the fact that the VP is unreliable doesn't change the fact that you get some VP. Like, money is like much more like, it matters like exactly when you get it. Whereas VP's VP, it doesn't really matter if you get it, you know, this turn or next turn. Either way, it's a victory point at the end of the game. So, yeah, that's my conclusion. The only other thing I would say is that I think there's some, like, I think we probably could have piled out like a turn earlier if I had played my deck better on the second to last turn, where I like kept failing to figure out how to draw. I will say, wanting to pair specialists in a deck that's primarily drawing with Hunting Party is much more awkward than I would have said, like, going in. Like, I would if I'd been asked the question, like, do you think it's gonna be difficult to pair specialists, you know, because Hunting Party can't easily draw you a second specialist if you already have one in your hand? I would have been like, oh yeah, I guess that could be an issue, but I would not have guessed how just how difficult it would be. So yeah, that was awkward. That being said, I think I did it poorly, in particular on that one turn. I think if I had lined stuff up better, maybe that would have set me up to pile out that turn. Maybe not. I mean, there was still like a decent amount of stuff in the piles, and like the deck's capability was growing, you know, more than linearly, certainly. So it wouldn't be surprising if I couldn't have done that. But the thing I was thinking about, that I was leading towards saying this, is that there was also Way of the Worm on the board, which obviously, like, an estate pile out isn't too easy in terms of buys because it takes a while for Animal Fair to come online. But even so, like, spending XX action, storing away estates, like, I don't think it ever made sense for me to do that. But I do wonder if you just decided that was what you were going for, if you could, like, in a more of a mirror situation, like, not that the bot would have been able to do this, but like, if two people were playing this deck, if one of them could win by doing a little worming along the way and then just setting it up where they have like a bit of a points lead and they can like pile out on like 2 piles plus the estates, which like it might just be easier to set up, like if maybe you don't need to pair your specialists because you're not trying to pile the specialists or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, well, I don't know. I'd like to think that Way of the Worm is irrelevant here, but I'm not like entirely confident of that, is I guess another way to put what I'm trying to say. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.